If somebody were to ask you, who is God or what's God like, how would you answer that question? There's so many thoughts and opinions going around about God, but which one of them is true? God really is a certain way, but what's he like? And it's not just a secondary question to ask. After all, this is the God we're trying to have a relationship with, and the God that our entire reality is hanging from. We can't afford to be wrong about this. A lot of times what happens is we either don't know certain things about God, or we forget things about God, or we focus on only one part of God that we've learned and forget the rest. But then we end up with a distorted view, and we really need to have a full picture of what God has said about himself. This book, Who is God, is about exploring the attributes of God, the truths of God that he's revealed to us about himself. And the CD, Because of You, is songs written on those themes so that our hearts and our minds can focus again and again on who God really is. You know, our lives become so busy with so many things to do and focus on, and all day long our attention is drawn in 1,000 different directions. Work and play and relationships, obligations, and all of these things. But sometimes we forget to ask the most important question and focus on the most important thing. And that is, who's in control of all this? Who built all of this? What is all this for? And that's part of the point of this, is when we focus on God and we see him more clearly, we begin to see our reality more clearly. And it begins to unravel problems because our perspective is being changed. We start to see both what's wrong with us, but also how what Jesus came to do is aimed at repairing all of that. If you're asking questions like, how can I grow closer to God? How can I get more faith? How can I experience more of that joy and peace the Bible talks about? Or how can I get free from bitterness and unforgiveness and anxiety, depression, and worries? All these questions find their answer in who God really is. And when we become captivated by him, it solves 1,000 other problems. He is the most important thing. He is the question we must ask. And the answer changes everything.
Help us when